Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Fatih from 8A. Today, I will present my book report entitled Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules. Let's start. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules was written by a man named Jeff Kinney. Move to the next slide. There is a table of content. Today's content includes introduction and literary elements. The first is an introduction about the writer Jeff Kinney. Jeffrey Patrick Kinney, or what we more often hear as Jeff Kinney, is a person who was born on February 19, 1971 in Maryland, US. He then attended the University of Maryland in the early 1990s. There, he made his first comic entitled I'd Goof. Since then, Jeff wanted to become a cartoonist. In 2006, Jeff signed a multi-book deal with Harry and Abrams Inc. On the next slide is the summary. The summary of this book tells about the daily life of a teenager who faces all the ups and downs of high school life and is often bullied by his older brother. Moving to the next slide, there are literary elements. Literary elements consist of 1. Settings, 2. Characterization, 3. Theme, 4. Moral value, and the fifth is the conclusion. First of all, we start from the settings. The first is Greg House. Greg House is quite large because in the book it is explained. One time, Roderick held a party at his house and then he invited all the friends he had known since middle school. Then, secondly, there is the Leisure Tower, which where Grandpa Greg lives. In the Leisure Tower, many old people live. There wasn't much entertainment there. There were only board games, TV, and a garden. Next, we move to characterization. The first character is Leland. Leland is Rowley's substitute babysitter. He really likes playing with children. He really likes playing games that use imagination. The next character is Rowley. Rowley is Greg's best friend. They have been friends since they were little. Rowley is a cheerful person. He is always happy all the time. Then, if there is a holiday, he really likes to go on holiday. He is also a person who likes to talk. The third character is Frank Havley. Frank is Greg's father. Frank likes to support Greg in finding his hobby, but sometimes he likes to ignore things that happen to the people around him. He also gets angry very easily. One day, his nephew came to him to celebrate an event. His nephew has entered entered the train collection room. Then Frank immediately scolded him because his train collection room was not allowed to be entered by anyone, even Greg. The next character is Susan Heavily. Susan is Greg's mother. She also likes to support Greg in making a lot of friends. Susan often advises Greg and Roderick because they fight so often. She is also a very simple person. If Greg and Roderick don't want to obey her rule, then their pocket money will be stopped and all electronic devices in the house will be turned off. The fifth character is Manny. Manny is Greg's youngest brother. When Greg joked with him, he immediately cried very loudly, even though Greg was only joking softly. He also often reported to his mother about the bad things Greg had done. He also likes to bother Greg when he is having an event with his friend at home. The next character, the next character is Roderick. Roderick is Greg's older brother. He really likes to bother Greg even though he's not doing anything. He was very messy person. One day Greg entered his room and Greg saw a lot of clothes lying everywhere. Even his underwear was scattered everywhere. He also likes metal music. He had a music group called Loaded Dipper. The band often practices at home every Saturday. And the main character of this book is Greg. He is a weak child. He also very perfectionist person because he wants everything he does to be neatly controlled or scheduled. He also likes to lie, especially to his mother. Every time there's a problem, always lies to his mother that he doesn't have a problem until his mother finds out everything. Then the next one is theme. The theme of this book is fiction. The story of Diary of a Wimpy Kid Rodriguez focuses on everyday event experienced by Greg and the people around him. In my opinion, the biggest problem in this book is when Roderick lied to his parents by pretending to be sick, and then when they left, he immediately threw a party and invited all the friends he knew to his house. Next is moral value. The moral value of this book is don't be a naughty child, be a good child, and like helping others, and don't be a child who likes to lie. Next is Islamic value. Quran Az-Zumar verse 3 and Ar-Rahman verse 16. Quran Az-Zumar verse 3, which means indeed Allah does not guide liars and people who are very disbelievers. And Ar-Rahman verse 60, which means there is no reward for goodness except goodness too. And finally, the conclusion. The conclusion of this book is that it is very funny, very relatable to the life of today's teenagers. I recommend this book for people who are looking for a light reading book and and want to fill their free time. This book is very suitable. That's all from my book report presentation. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.